And Young Buzz, welcome back to the channel where we get into the stories behind your favorite K-pop idols and uncover those fun, real, and sometimes surprising details that you won't find anywhere else. Today, we're diving deep into one of Stray Kids' most dynamic members, Changbin, the rapper, lyricist, producer, and part of the legendary hip-hop trio Lyrical. If you think you know Changbin, well, buckle up, because there's a lot more to this guy than just fiery rap verses. Let's start at the beginning. Changbin was born Seo Changbin on August 11, 1999, making him a Leo, which honestly fits his personality perfectly. He's bold, passionate, and definitely a bit of a firecracker. And here's a fun fact. His Chinese zodiac is the rabbit, which contrasts with that fierce Leo energy in the coolest way. He's 167 centimeters tall, which means he's not the tallest in Stray Kids, but honestly, does height matter when your stage presence is this huge? I don't think so. Changbin's journey into music is pretty inspiring. He trained for 2 years before debuting with Stray Kids, which is actually on the shorter side compared to some idols. But don't let that fool you. He made those 2 years count. When he got accepted into JYP Entertainment, his parents were so proud they said something like, "Wow, our son is a genius. We should have gotten him into music sooner." Can you imagine that? His parents being happier about him joining a boy group than going to university. That's some serious family support right there. Now, one thing I absolutely love about Changbin is his nickname game. He's called Mogi, which means mosquito, Jingjingi, Teokjangi, which refers to his chin, and just the simple but adorable Binny. These nicknames aren't just cute, they show how close the members and fans are to him. Plus, it's funny to think of the fierce rapper being called Mosquito. Kind of ironic, right? When it comes to skills, Changbin is an all-rounder. He's not just a rapper. He's also a powerhouse in writing lyrics and producing songs alongside his Lyrical teammates Chan and Han. His stage name in Lyrical is Spearb, and it really fits because his rap style hits hard and sharp like a spear. And I think that's why so many fans respect him, not only as a performer, but as a creator. The lyrics and flow you hear? That's his voice and story coming through. Let me ask you, what's your favorite Changbin rap line or song? For me, it's hard to pick because every track he's on feels like it has this raw energy and emotion. But if you think about it, that's probably the best way to describe him. A guy who puts his heart and soul into every verse. Personality-wise, Changbin is pretty unique. He's got this cheerful and active vibe that he says is his charming point. But he's also into darker things and horror movies, which is such a cool contrast. Like, you can picture him watching a scary movie at home, but then joking around with the members right after. Plus, he's known for telling unfunny jokes that create awkward silences. Classic Changbin move. I swear, those moments make him even more lovable because you can tell he doesn't take himself too seriously. And speaking of lovable, let's talk about his little daily habits. The first thing he does every day is washing, either his face or taking a bath. Talk about starting fresh. Also, Changbin is a huge fan of convenience store chicken breasts. I don't know about you, but that sounds like a pretty healthy snack, especially for someone with his energy. And French fries? Yeah, those are a no-brainer for him. Can't blame him. Here's something funny. He prefers iced Americano over hot. I get it though. Iced coffee is way more refreshing, especially if you're running around like Changbin does. And when it comes to sports, he's no slouch either. He's really good at ball sports and runs fast, which just adds to the image of him being this energetic ball of fire. Another adorable fact is that Changbin can't sleep without his Munchlax plush toy, which he calls Ju. Imagine this fierce rapper cuddling a plushie every night. Too cute. It's those kinds of details that remind us idols are just as human and quirky as we are. Now, let's talk friendships, because that's a big part of who Changbin is. He's friends with Wooyoung from ATEEZ, Chaeyeon from IZ*ONE, and even a huge fan of iKON's Jinhwan, aka Jay. I love how idols support each other and build friendships across groups. It makes the industry feel smaller and warmer. Plus, Changbin's parents apparently wanted him to study abroad, but he never wanted to leave them. That shows a side of him that values family deeply, which sometimes gets overlooked when we focus on his stage persona. In the dorm, Changbin's role is to clean the big room. But fun fact, he actually likes sleeping in Hunjin's bed more than his own. Can you imagine the comfort level there? These little dorm stories give us a peek at their real lives and how close they all are. He used to share a room with Woojin and Felix, so that must have been a lively combo. And when it comes to his motto, Changbin says, "Let's live with a positive mind, enjoy the life." Honestly, that's such a simple but powerful message. Especially in an industry that can be so stressful, having that mindset is crucial. Okay, so let's open this up to you all. What do you think about Changbin's personality? Are you surprised by any of these facts? And what's your favorite part about him? Whether it's his rap skills, his funny moments, or those little quirks? Drop your thoughts in the comments because I want to know. Also, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss deep dives like this on your favorite idols. And let me know which Stray Kids member you want me to cover next. We're only halfway through, so stick around for the next part where I'll share more about his inspirations, some rare stories, and maybe even some surprises you didn't know about Changbin. Now that we've covered some fun facts and the basics about Changbin, let's dive deeper into what really shapes him, his inspirations, and some stories that show how much heart he puts into his craft. First, Changbin's role models say a lot about his style and mindset. He looks up to Big Bang's G-Dragon, Kendrick Lamar, and even his own parents. Now that's a pretty diverse mix. G-Dragon for that iconic style and creativity, Kendrick Lamar for his powerful lyrics and storytelling, and of course, parents who instilled values and support. This blend really comes through in Changbin's music and personality. You can feel the confidence, the lyrical depth, and the grounded humility all at once. Did you know Changbin had a feature on 101's Yoon Ji-sung's solo debut song, You, Like the Wind? That's right, he's not just a Stray Kids member, but also respected enough to collaborate with top solo artists. This shows how versatile and talented he truly is, crossing paths with different artists and genres. Changbin is also a huge fan of iKON's Jinwon. It's always heartwarming to see idols appreciate and support each other across groups. It builds such a sense of community in K-pop, and fans love seeing their favorites connecting off stage. Speaking of friendships, he's tight with Wooyoung from ATEEZ and Chaeyeon from IZ*ONE. That's quite the star-studded friend circle, isn't it? Here's something interesting about his personality. Changbin is known for his energetic and outgoing nature, which is classic ESTP, but earlier MBTI results showed ENFP and ESFP. It's like he's evolved over time, but always stays that lively and passionate guy who lights up the room. I think this evolution is natural, especially for someone constantly growing in the spotlight. I want to touch on something that fans really relate to. Changbin's love for collecting things, and his fascination with darker themes like horror movies. It's such a cool contrast to his bright and cheerful public image. It makes you wonder how many layers he has, and how much of himself he puts into the music he writes and performs. Now, let's talk about those moments that make him feel so real and relatable. For instance, his habit of washing up first thing every day, starting fresh, both literally and metaphorically. And his comfort item, the Munchlax plush named Ju, that's something we all get. Those little things that keep us grounded when life gets hectic. What about his role in the dorm? Cleaning the big room and sometimes crashing in Hunjin's bed instead of his own tells you about the strong bonds and comfort these members share. It's like a second family for them. And Changbin is very much the active and responsible one in the house, keeping things in order while being playful. On the music side, he's not just a rapper or lyricist, but also a producer and part of 3 Racha with Chan and Han. Their work ethic is insane. These 3 literally create the backbone of Stray Kids music. Their collaboration is tight and is a huge reason why Stray Kids songs have such a unique sound, raw, emotional, and powerful. Let's be real. How many groups have a member that can rap, write, produce, and bring that much energy to the stage all at once? Changbin is proof that idols today are multi-talented machines, breaking stereotypes and raising the bar. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite 3 Racha song or Changbin lyric? For me, the raw emotion in tracks like MIA or God's Menu just hits different when you know the story behind them. Also, Changbin's ideal type is pretty down to earth. A girl who can laugh with him when they're together. I think that's something anyone can relate to, right? Being with someone who can share laughter and good vibes is the real deal. Before we end, let me share a quick personal thought. I've always admired how Changbin balances being serious about his craft with being genuinely fun and approachable. It's not easy to keep that balance under the pressure of the idol world. And honestly, it makes him one of the most relatable idols in the game. He's someone who works hard, stays humble, and doesn't forget to enjoy life along the way. So what do you think? Has your view of Changbin changed or deepened after this? Are you more curious to check out his solo or three racha work? Let me know all your thoughts down below. Let's get that conversation going. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell to join the Anyangbuzz family for more exclusive K-pop deep dives and updates. Thanks so much for watching, and as Changbin's motto says, let's live with a positive mind, enjoy the life. See you next time!